What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Thor Media podcast. I'm your host, Sak from Detailing Made Simple, and today is part 2 of the Corvette. So we will be applying C6 app. We're going to use it with a car buffer here from SPTA. We're going to apply it on the paint. That will be our panel prep and probably a little bit more of a jeweling step to make it much more deep red and glossy look. And then we will apply the DIY Detail 5-year ceramic coating on it, and you will see the results. Now, if you want to see the polishing stuff on how we made it look this shiny, this glossy, we removed about 70% of the swirls and scratches, or pretty much all the minor swirls. It's just the only thing that really remained is just the random rids, the deep scratches, and that is about it. So overall, head over to my channel, Detailing Made Simple, if you want to see that. And yeah, so let's get started. And if you want to use any of the products that I use here today, just use code DMS at checkout for 10% off. And let's get started quickly with the video. So first things first is we will apply app. Now, since I've been gone for a while, I've already shook this off screen. That's why it's all the way up here, as you can see. But what you're gonna do is use your same pad. This is the same pad that I used to apply C6 app on my personal vehicle, and I just made sure I deep clean it very nice, and that is about it. So we're gonna put about 3 dots as such, and that is all you really need to pretty much do almost half the vehicle. I'll say a third of the vehicle, and you're going to spread it on the paint. Now, what is app going to do is pretty much, well, this is coming from, again, the C6 team and Ivan. This is their chemistry. It's completely different than Dr. Beasley's. The way Ivan explains it is just pretty much is you're applying this on the paint. It's going to open up the pores of the paint. It's going to have it in that locked state. It's going to swell it up probably to a microscopic level. Of course, you're not going to see it's going to swell up as if you use polisher at speed setting 6 or whatever on high heat in direct sunlight. None of that stuff. It's just really going to just help open up the pores so more coating could get into it. That is pretty much it. Now, in terms of the swelling, of course, it is a car buffer. This has a 9mm throw, if I remember correctly, and you want to use C6 app anywhere between 3 to a 9mm DA. Anything more than that, you're going to, it's going to be harder to wipe off. So you just really want to stay in that range. And the way you go about it is, I like to dab the product. I just don't like to go. The reason for that is because a lot of it tends to soak up a little bit inside those pockets of the pad. So I dab it out as such. And this car buffer, this is an SPTA buffer. You can get it on Amazon. It's about 89 bucks. And it is super quiet and you will hear it. And I like to use this on speed setting 6. That is because this has pretty much 0 torque. And all we are doing is applying app. You don't want to, go too crazy and high speed. Trust me, this high speed is very, very low, which you will see. And you just want to apply it onto the paint. Now, if you use, say, a long throw DA or a rotary, you will overwork the polish in itself, and it will be harder to wipe off, and you are just overworking the technology of C6 app. So as you can see, this is speed setting 6. Super quiet. Not a lot of torque, and all I'm doing is just going around the paint. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab it on this side, and I'm gonna start on this side. So I'm gonna grab a little bit from the middle and work my way out. You want to see a small little trail, and I'll show you that small little trail in a little bit, so that way you can see that you are going to spread this far enough. So what I like to do is pretty much 2 section passes, and I'm doing this fairly quick, right? So that's it. You're not doing really any correction. You're just doing a fine jeweling step, and that is it. So that is what you're going to do right here. And I am going to now do the other half of the hood. And you just want to make sure the pad just stays spinning. And even if it doesn't, it is what it is. This is just spreading out, again, the C6 app. And if you still see a trail, just keep on going. So this will be my second pass. As you see, I'm doing this fairly quick. It's gonna take me 10 minutes to go around the car. It's not going to take a lot of time whatsoever. I'm just doing this, as I said, fairly quickly. Come back around here, and I still have a lot more product to go. So let me show you what I mean on just making sure you apply it. As you can see, there's a thin trail around. It's not heavy. I'm not going too much, and I just dab it right here onto the panel, and look, still more apt to go around. So same thing, just apply it and just have that little trail. So that's what I like to do, especially on these quarter panels. This will be the second pass, right from here all the way back around. And you're just practically spreading the product around. Same thing, come back onto this door. You're going to see that once you press a little bit, more of that polish is coming out. And you are just going to spread this. Do pretty much a third or maybe a fourth, those 3 little dabs. But after that, you do not need 3 dabs anymore. All you need is just 1 pea-sized drop afterwards. See that? And come back up around, and that is practically it. So once I'm done, it's just pretty much rinse and repeat. So I will see you all once we are ready to wipe off C6 app. All right, so as you can see, we left a trail and we did it all around the entire vehicle, as you see here. So this is what will be left behind. As we said, we aren't here to correct anything, just mainly applying it, help open up the pores of the paint, and that's it. And I am using the level 1 and final level towels from the House of Rags, and this is their V1s. So some people have been getting some linting issues, and I got this straight out the bag. This is fresh. I like to use fresh towels, especially if I'm using T6 app. I don't want any type of other polishes inside the towels. But I am getting 0 linting, as you can see on my initial wipe. So, you know, probably a batch or some sort. I have no idea. I have no explanation. All I can say is 0 linting on my end. And I have washed these before, and then I just degrade them to a different towel. It's nothing crazy, but as you can see, wipe off is very simple if you follow these steps. You don't want to overwork the C6 app. You just want to apply it as if you're applying a wax onto the paint, and just make sure you thoroughly wipe off the app before you apply your coating. Same thing, right, and wiping it as such. Easy buff off, it comes off buttery smooth. Flip that around. In terms of the glass, I ended up using just a panel prep. So that's it. And same thing for the black part of the roof, because that is a sunroof. It's not, you know, it's not actual paint up there. And just make sure you grab any edges that you missed, just in case, and And that is it. Just be methodical. Wipe off thoroughly. And that is it. Time to wipe off on this side. Some people may ask, how long do you have to wait until you can wipe off app? It's pretty much just apply and wipe off right away. You can leave it on for a couple hours, come back. Doesn't really matter. Of course, if you're using this in direct sunlight, I don't recommend you to leave this at all in direct sunlight. But just it's still easy to wipe off. So as you can see, that is it. And rinse and repeat. So I will see you all for the coating application. All right, so we are done. The whole prep process is done. The hardest thing to do is really the prep process for any ceramic coating. That is pretty much it. That applying the coating, this is gonna take my wife and I about what, 20 minutes to do. It's not going to be long whatsoever. What's going to be longer is possibly this this video in itself. So yeah, so here are the new DIY V2 or Type 2 coatings. That's what they like to say. This is their 5-year, it's PFAS free, and it comes in a nice box. It still comes in the same container. I think they changed the dropper as well, of course, because the dropper last time was pretty massive. So you always want to shake up all your coatings for about what, 5 seconds or so. I already shook this off screen. And crack it open slightly, and there it is, a smaller dropper as well. So that is what's going on. In terms of the glass, I already coated the glass off screen. I use a different coating for that, and I'll show you on how I like to apply the first bit of coating. So first off, I like to saturate my pad. About 20 drops, just like that, spread around. And as you can see, it's not just gushing out like their old version as well. And I will bring you in close to the paint so that way we can see it in action. And also how C6 app just makes this coating kind of just melt itself into the paint. So I like to box out my area. So I'm going to do this whole half of the hood as such, and I am going in circles as well. And typically this coating does rainbow, and I could tell you right off the bat, the Type 2 coatings does not smell as strong as their Type 1 or version 1. You just want to make sure you get an even application all across. And it does have a rainbow effect, or oil, like an oil-like substance in a sense. But as you can see, we have applied it onto the paint. And with C6 app, one thing I've noticed with the app in itself is the rainbow effect is a lot less prominent when you apply C6 app. I've noticed that as well with C6 Diamond, the one when I applied it on my vehicle. So it's one of those things where you still see a little bit of oil slick on water and stuff like that, but it's not as crazy. And as you can see, it's starting to seep in right up there. If you look at that light, it's pretty much gone. So when 50% of it is gone, that is when you are ready to wipe off. So let's just wipe off right now. And what I'm using here is, I have an auto fiber quadrant towel, so it tells me which ones I have, and the final level towel from the House of Rags. This is their version 1. So yeah, so first off, you are going to, same thing, I like to box and wipe where I wiped before and get the majority off. And I am using 0 pressure. Throw that out there and wipe off the excess. DIY on their end, they like to use their Freebird, their 300 or 500, I forgot which one. For me, I just prefer 2 low nap, 2 pearl weave towels, and that's it. I am good to go. So that is it, 0 pressure, and easy come, easy go. So once that's that, I said once that's that, what does that even mean? Once that's done, just move on to your next panel or next section. So for me, since we're right here close by, I don't want to move the camera all the way to the other half of the hood. Just grab your applicator, 3 to 4 drops, move on to the next panel since we already saturated it to begin with, and follow the next body line. And here we are applying it as such. And it is a bit humid in here as well. So anytime there is humidity, it will speed up the bonding process on the paint when you're applying any coating. So that is it. You know what, I'm gonna get the headlight too since I'm already here. Just get the headlight. And once 50% is pretty much dissipated, which I didn't apply a lot onto the applicator, but you can still see that I applied some coating on there. Once 50% is pretty much dissipated, as you see here, if you follow this, see that I applied it. 50% is pretty much gone. It's time to wipe off. As I said, this is the quickest part of the entire coating job. The quickest. And you just level off. Same thing, no pressure. Make sure you always get an extra, 6-7 inches to the adjacent panels, just so that way we could prevent any high spots from happening, because most of the high spots happen on body lines. Here, when you're applying any ceramic coating, just color outside of the lines. Just, of course, that is for the wipe off, and even for applying the coating. Don't worry about being too perfect. If a little bit goes onto the next panel, nothing happens. No harm, no foul. And that is it. So we've done 2 panels, and I will finish the video off here with the walk around of the results. So let me put you all up here because it is getting crazy. So hopefully, I know I'm crouching down a little bit, so hopefully you all enjoyed this week's Store Media podcast. We apply C6 app onto the paint. We wiped it off. We're applying the ceramic coating, which you saw is just super easy. It's not gonna take me more than 20 minutes to go around the whole vehicle, especially if you have somebody helping you. And then also on top of that, you're gonna get the insane amount of gloss. It's gonna be so, I'll post the pictures or the video of the walk around outside once I take it out in the sun. You all will be blown away by the amount of gloss. DIY Detail to me is one of the glossiest coatings, especially only their 5-year is one of the glossiest. If you go back to a little over 2 years ago when you saw my video when I first used it on a couple BMWs and stuff like that and other vehicles, you see the amount of gloss is just absolutely, it's up there. It's up there. It's probably one of the best prosumer coatings that you can get based on gloss. And yeah, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you all for tuning in, and I will see you all on the next video. Peace.